Welcome back to the Quick Start. In this very exciting video, we'll be inviting another group to our event so that they can collaborate with us. So let's see how to do that right now. So here we are inside of our event. We're on the Members tab, and inside of the Members tab, we have Members, Room, and Resources. We're going to go through each of these one at a time. So let's start with Members. Now under Members, it shows everybody that's been currently added to this event. Here we have the user and the group that they belong to. Now you'll notice over on the right, we have these two buttons. The primary way to think of these buttons is that they allow you to add people or groups to the event, but you can also think of them as a way to start collaborating with individuals or groups. So let's invite a group to collaborate with. So I just click on the Add Groups button, and then I start typing the name of the group that I want to add. And then it offers up groups on the Crescat platform. Then you just click on the group that you want to collaborate with, and you can give that group write access so that they can make changes to the timeline. And you can continue adding groups if you want to, and then you click Invite All. And then that group is added to the event, and they can also start creating assignments. And just the same, if we wanted to invite an individual to our group, we just click on the Add User button and start typing their name. Nella is someone who is not in my Crescat group, but she does have a profile on Crescat. If the person you want to invite does not have a profile on Crescat, you can invite them by email. I could invite Clara from here, but Clara is a member of my group, so I can invite her here. And click Invite All. Or I could have added her from this menu. I can assign a shift to her, or I could click on the plus sign that was beside her name. If we click on Add Groups again, we can create an event group. Now this is a really great way to stay organized and work faster. Now let's say we have a lot of security for our event. We can then create a group called Main Security and click Create. Then we can assign personnel to that group by clicking on the Edit button for Main Security. We can change the group details and click Update or Add Members. Now that we have our group, we can create an assignment for that group. We can create it right here, and you see the assignment is now being added to Main Security. We can also create it somewhere else. For example, Clara is not part of the group, but I can create an assignment here, and I can add Main Security. And now Clara has received a new assignment, and so has Main Security. Down here, we can see the rooms that the event is using. We currently have the main hall booked from 12 to 4. And if you wanted to add room bookings, you can do that here. And finally, down here, we have resources. Everything we've looked at so far had to be something real, like a person who would receive an invite and would have to then accept the invite to be considered a part of the event. Resources, on the other hand, are created rather than invited. In other words, they don't have to be real. So if you wanted to subdivide a room into smaller rooms just for this event, you could create several resources as rooms, give each one a name, and then continue using those rooms just like you would with any room created by Crescat Venue. Let's create a user resource. With user selected, we can add a name. Let's say the name of our user is Pinocchio, and we can fill out as much information we have on that user as possible. Once you're satisfied, click Create Resource. We now have a new user called Pinocchio, who technically doesn't exist anywhere. They haven't been invited, but rather we've just made up the user ourselves. Now we can already go into our timeline and start giving Pinocchio assignments. We can also add Pinocchio to the event group. Just click on the resource, click event group, and click main security. Note this option isn't here when you're first setting up the resource. It's only available from the edit resource modal, which is here. Click update. And now if we go to our timeline, we see that Pinocchio has been added. And when it's time for Pinocchio to become a real boy, we can click Convert into User. Then we can select the user that Pinocchio should become. Now note, converting a resource into a user is permanent and cannot be undone. And our resource has disappeared, and any assignments that were given to Pinocchio are now Clara's. That way you can start scheduling assignments even before the user is added to the event. The members page, when used effectively, really does grant you event planning superpowers. So if any of this looked useful for your events, I would encourage you to spend time familiarizing yourself with it. Speaking of event planning superpowers, look how far you've come. You now know about the dashboards and their features. You know how to create, cancel, and if you need to, delete events. You understand the event info page. You can create and edit assignments on the timeline, build a running order, create boards, use the file sharing system, add members and groups to your event, and create and use resources. You've put a lot of time and attention into getting to this point, so feel free to give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back for a job well done. You now know how to set up and run an event on the Crescat platform, and we haven't even touched the settings menu yet, where you get to create tons of handy templates, which is yet another event planning superpower on its own. Let's keep this momentum up as we continue through the quick start together. I'll see you in the next video.